What's going on, YouTube? It's T90. I hope life is treating you well. And this game right here is very unique all around. I've been looking for a game like this for quite some time. If you like uniqueness when it comes to strategy, if you like a little bit of a comeback story, this game might have it for you. Before we dive into that, I got a message. It's a pretty long message, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. From a user who said that his housemate's birthday is actually today, and due to COVID and all the craziness in the world, they haven't been able to plan anything to really do to celebrate. And every single evening, they spend time watching my videos, they binge watch through the channel, and also get together and play Age amongst themselves. So I just wanted to wish Joystick a happy birthday over there in Australia. Stay safe. And your friends also sent a few things about you. Apparently you rage quit when you get raided early. Oof, okay. Apparently you always pick the Mayans. And he's one of the users that has to have all of his buildings looking perfectly because he is apparently an engineer. So happy birthday to you. And if your friends are making fun of you for the rage quitting, just remind them that whoever messaged me here did say you were the best at beer pong. Oh, and also get a haircut. But anyways, let's get into the game. Happy birthday. This is going to be awesome. So we have Kasva in the blue. This is a ranked game that happened recently. I'm really excited to show you guys this. And this is on a map called Cenotes. So Kasva's here in the blue. Now we have Draken in the red. Now there's been a lot of streams recently, and I can't get everything up to YouTube, unfortunately. It's just 8 hours of streaming 5 times a week. It's impossible for me to get every single set up to YouTube unless it's the important stage of an event, right? And Draken was very close to beating Nikov in a best of 5. In fact, he was up 2 games, and Nikov came back to beat him. But Draken won with incredibly YOLO strategies. Now, if you look at this, Draken runs forward. He's hoping to maybe steal 1 boar, and he sees 2 right there. Now, it's not possible to steal 2 boars with 1 eagle because the boar does so much damage, and you have to hit it twice. So instead of losing his eagle going for the real masterful play, he goes forward and he's like, wow, Lady Luck is shining bright on me today. I'll steal that pig, thank you very much. And he's going to take that 340 food back to his base. Now, if you notice, at the same time, Draken is sending a villager forward and is getting loom. This just does not happen every day. It's not like the players are that close together. They're still pretty far apart, but Draken gets lucky and Kasva gets unlucky. You look at Kasva's scouting, he's just trying to find all of his resources right now. In 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, his boars are leaving him. You just don't see this. I know it's not I know pig, it's I know pigs for Kasva. And that can end the game right there. I mean, losing 1 boar is 340 food. That's so much food. That's going to mean with 2 boars, you're going to have to probably take the hunt. You're going to have to farm earlier than you would. For Kasva, I've been here as a player. When you're playing in Dark Age, you just remember where you think you saw the boars, but you're not always looking over there, especially in a rated game. So he's probably paying attention to his scout, paying attention to his scouting llama. That's cute. And he just now realized, hold on a second. I know I had at least 1 boar out here. It is now gone. Best way to adapt to that is to wall and just defend and wait for those farms to eventually kick in when you add them. So I guess the farm, or sorry, not the farms, the walls is his own unique way of adapting to it. Of course, doesn't know where the enemy is. You also need to somehow determine what your enemy's going for. Now, I've already watched this game through, so I can tell you that at this point, and you're going to see some examples of what he was doing when he was confused by this. At this point, Kasva knew he was down 1 boar. He did not realize that he was down 2, which makes sense because you don't realize you're down 2 because you don't expect that eagle to steal 2. And that's just not what happened. A villager actually took a little trip to your base, Kasva. So there's many things in Age where it's not a feature, it's a bug. Or no, it's not a bug, it's a feature rather. And I really hope that this actually stays in our game. If you think your boar might be here, or you think your boar might be here, you can actually use a house foundations and farm foundations and place it. Yep, see, right there. And then you have to, of course, delete that so you get the resources back. But that will tell him that there's no boar there. And that's a neat little trick if you're really in a pinch and a bind for resources, which Kasva certainly is right now. And Kazva says double lame, question mark. And watch Draken's response. Lol, of course not. Which is brilliant because that's probably what Kazva's been thinking this entire time. Of course he didn't steal both of them. That doesn't make any sense. But no, Draken stole both of them. So I mentioned already how Draken played against Nikov, and he went for extreme YOLO strategies. One game, he was able to sneak some stables and go for some YOLO knights with Berbers, which are very cheap knights. Another game, a lot of the games, he went for Monk Siege. And Aztecs, one of the top-tier arena civilizations, are very good if they get to Fast Castle, Eagles, Monk Siege. Now, here comes Kazva. And Kazva, he accidentally runs into that town center. And he will have realized that Draken was bringing in a board, but he still can't really figure out what's the deal here. And Draken has pretty much decided that, well, my opponent's never going to make it to feudal. So I'm just going to wall and turn this into a fast castle type of a game. Kazva must have paused at that time. And Kazva, you'll notice, is farming. So Khmer, they have amazing farms. One of the fastest farm rates in the game. Your villagers do not need to have... they don't drop off their resources at a mill or a town center. So they're just constantly dropping off the food. And you'll notice that it's not just the fact that they don't drop it off at a mill or a TC. What it doesn't even say in the description of the civilization is that it's constantly dropping it off after it collects one food. So they never hold on to food. So it's really easy to judge where your resources are going. And that right there makes them top tier for farming, at least as the game goes on. Doesn't make that much of an impact right now, but you know, Kazva, he needs food. And for Kazva, you pretty much just got to scout Draken and hope that Draken's not going to go forward and aggressive against you. And I think Kazva can realize now after seeing the walls that, yeah, okay, my opponent's probably just going to be going fast castle. I don't need to worry about any like real feudal age aggression. Now, if you're Draken shoes, you have the world in your hands. You can do anything you want here. He's decided to keep his eagle at home and double check to make sure that he's completely walled. Because if Kazva does somehow go aggressive at any point, he doesn't want any units breaking in here, especially if he's going to go YOLO. The idea is to wall at home, much like Joystick. Happy birthday, buddy. A big old waller. And you don't want to rage quit like that fella. His name is apparently Scott. You don't want to rage quit like Scott if units get through your walls. So avoid that. And I could already tell that Draken is double checked here. You'll notice that on Cenotes you do have these ponds, which normally aren't really a big focus at all. So he's walled to the pond. This does not reach over to this side. So yeah, Kazva's going to have to break through the walls, or so it seems, to get into Draken's base. Draken bringing some food back from these hunters. That's going to be about, quick math here, well, enough food to go up. It's going to be about enough. That's how good my math is. And he is about to click up. Just needs to drop off some food there. And we will see a lightning fast castle time with no farms. And that's going to be impressive. Also worth noting, there's a lot I want to say in this game. Worth noting, as Kazva's going to be up right behind him. He's saving up resources. My casting overlay that you guys have grown used to see the populations and the resources and upgrades, all that, that no longer works, unfortunately, on the most recent patch. Every time there's a patch, it would break, and the Capture Age team would put in effort to fix it, and they basically told me, unfortunately, we're not able to fix it, but there might be something else coming soon. So for now, we're going to have to stick with this. I'll try not to click on things as frequently so you can see the vill counts here. But there's a couple reasons why Khmer can be pretty beastly at defending from this or coming back from this type of a rush. The big thing is the farms, but also the fact that you don't have to build your buildings required to go to the next age. You'll notice Kaz was on the way to Castle Age. He doesn't have a blacksmith. He doesn't have a market. He's just making a stable. And now, I don't know if you heard this, but Kazva has figured out a way to maybe surprise Draken. Draken's making a gate here. Draken's going to be on 2 barracks. Draken's going to go Eagles. Draken's probably going to come forward, make Monastery, Siege Workshop, the Monk, Siege, Eagles, and just overwhelm Kazva. Kazva has a dock and a transport ship. Now, that's 150 wood for the dock, and that's 125 wood for the transport ship. If he was not Khmer, I don't think this would have been possible. Why? Well, because he would have had to have built the blacksmith, the market, all those other buildings. He would not then have the wood floating on top of that. Now, Kazva's being so attentive now, I guess he really wants his revenge after losing so much food in the Dark Age. And he snipes the eagle, and Draken comes forward with that villager who definitely wanted to place the monastery, and that goes down as well. So overall, Kazva's doing a pretty good job. And Draken, he has this habit with these all-in strategies to forget about eco. It's a bit like Huang. So you don't have that many farms. Probably just 5 farms is what he's going to stick with, and everything else is going to go into other resources. All right, Scout's still being mobile. We haven't seen any use of the transport yet. We actually even see a fishing ship for Kazva. And Draken comes forward. Notice Kazva, no extra town centers. You can't boom against this. You've got to get as many scouts out as possible. And Kazva has done a good job so far, but this is the type of build that can just snowball out of control against you. What I would normally say is that you can't even damage the Aztec eco because they're fully walled. But if you fully wall on a water map, and Kazva is this creative, that's kind of funny. It looks like the fisherman is taking fish out of the boat. You thief! But yeah, anyways, this could actually do some insane damage. We've got 4 light cav in there, and this is Draken's POV. Draken's like, okay, I've got enough eagles now to deal with light cav. I'm gonna have monks on the way. I'm fine at home. Are you fine at home, Draken? Are you fine at home? Are you enjoying life with the extra meat in your refrigerator? Are you enjoying the extra rations? I want to go for a stronghold quote here, but I won't. The light cav arrived, and Draken, he's not even paying attention to this, because he's paying attention to this at the moment. He actually lost a monk as well. So Kazva snipes a monk, and now is in Draken's eco, and Draken's got to be thinking, did I leave a hole in my wall? Great micro from Kazva. This is the revenge he was looking for, and look at him sniping vills. Guys, you just don't see transports used that much at a high level, certainly on a map that's considered not even a hybrid map, but a lands map. The damage was done there. Kazva's up to 35 vills, and it's 26 for Draken. And also, Draken's going to need to send some support back home, which makes that attack on the front so much less threatening. The eagle goes down. Now, some of these light cav are even weak when this attack started. Another villager goes down. Kazva does the right thing to attack the spears first thing. I think that is going to be the end of the attack, and now he's got to defend himself at home. I think wisely opting for the siege workshop. Now, just to get back to what the game plan would have been for Draken, you get enough monk upgrades, so the opposition can't even justify going for siege defense. You have your own siege, they make their own siege against it, and then you get redemption, and then you convert that siege. So it's important to keep the monk numbers high, and with Aztecs, the more upgrades you get, the better, because you get more HP on your monks per upgrade. It's a pretty sick snowball push. It's hard to stop, and even though Kazva is ahead by 10 villagers right now, it doesn't matter all that much. I gave you guys a little bit of insight as to how Scott, one of my fans from Australia, lives his life because his buddy passed along info. You guys might not have an idea of how I am when I'm not doing Age of Empires. So I actually saw the first 21 minutes of this game. I've not seen anything from here on as Kazva gets the conversion. And I was so giddy, I couldn't cast the game right away. So I ran downstairs, did a little bit of cleaning. I know, it doesn't sound like me. But I did a little bit of cleaning because we need to do that today. And then I ran back up here all giddy, excited to cast the game. So this is all fresh for me. I was so pumped. And Kazva sends the knights into the transport ship. I was wondering if he was going to use that again. And Draken's still got to be so confused by this. And meanwhile, Kazva with the plays actually sends the 2 scorpions in this little circular arena and takes out these monks as well. I mean, isn't this as impressive a win as you could possibly see? If this ends up being a win, of course, for Draken. I mean, my goodness. Or not for Draken, for Kazva. Kazva, probably the first mistake, trying to get a bit too greedy there to snipe another monk. Oh, he actually gets one more. You know what? I take it back. And these eagles went down. The knights were still over here. It's 30 villagers versus 44. I was really thinking, I guess Draken sold all of his stone to get gold. But I think if it were me, I'd be thinking there was a stable there. He has not seen the transport ship yet. But like, when you commit all of your eco to an all-in push and it stalls out, normally it's going to snowball out of control the other direction. The economy is going to be better for the defender, in this case, Kasva. Like, these eagles are only eagle scouts. Now, they do pretty good because they get +3 attack after Castle Age comes in, but they're still not even eagle warriors. I think that just tells you how good the eco has been for Kasva and how poor it's been for Draken. Kasva able to make light cav and knights that dock, that transport the scorpions too, and that TC. It will protect the gold temporarily, but oh, Kasva's got to be really careful. Well, or not. Doinks it down. This is not how I would have described Draken a few months back, because Draken has been playing a lot more open maps. But I think recently he's realized that he's really good with this type of a style. I don't know, or maybe he's just testing it out again. He used to play like this years ago. But not until recently did he start trying to go for these strategies again. Man, the Khmer Scorpions actually doing an amazing job there. And Draken says, don't know where the hole is, GG. Wow, what a perfect way to finish this game, YouTube. Don't know where the hole is. There is no hole, buddy. Now, when I resign in Age of Empires, this is what I do. I click escape. I click resign. And then I look at the map. Sometimes, if players are frustrated or they just want to go for another game really fast, they'll just do escape and quit current game without actually looking at the map. My guess is Draken said GG, don't know where the hole is, before he resigned, and then maybe he saw this and thought, wow, that just doesn't happen. So the fact that Draken even assumed it was a hole, and he was still scratching his head at this point, just shows you how brilliant this game was from Kasva. Kasva, for those that don't know, he's a very good player. He's the best player in Turkey, and he's around the same age as Doubt, so he's been around for years. He was the nice guy who actually tipped me onto this game. And I'm actually going to link his YouTube channel in the description if you guys want to check out his channel. I don't think he has this uploaded to his channel, but I'll link his channel below if you ever want to watch his gameplay. What a unique game, guys. We had the double Boars Steal, rarely happens. We had the transport ship raid, rarely happens. And then, you know, to top it all off, it was a revenge transport too after losing the 2 boars. It wasn't like the winning player just continued to win because of the transport. And then also that little comment from Draken made it so much sweeter near the tail end. Don't know where the hole is. I don't get it. How did it happen? Well, maybe you should have walled to the edge of the map, Draken, and actually made an arena for yourself. Also, even if that raid didn't come in, Kasva did a tremendous job sniping the monks and villagers and whatnot in the middle. You can make an argument that Draken was probably distracted because he was getting attacked at home and thus was unable to really control the middle, but still, props to Kasva. That was a really sick game from him. I mean, this says it all right here. Largest military 8. Largest military 17. So Kasva made low numbers of military units work because he was hitting the right spots. He might not have had any boars, but he still had Khmer farms. Who cares when you have 5,500 food in that short of a game? Well played, Kasva. And Draken, of course, having more gold because he was going so heavy on eagles, monks, and siege, all of which cost gold. Well, YouTube, I hope you guys are enjoying your day, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to have a few unique uploads over the next week or two. I'm actually taking a week off from streaming, which is really rare for me, but I really need like a mental health week. So the 7th through the 14th, I'm actually going to be away from streaming, which means that virtually every day, you guys are going to have a unique upload that's not from something that I streamed. Now, the good stuff that I do stream still comes to YouTube, and I'm working on getting a lot of those up, but you might have 2 videos a day. So if you're like Scott in Australia and you enjoy to watch my videos, there's going to be more over the next few weeks. And as always with my YouTube only content, Don't want to be that guy, but likes always help motivate me to do more. If I do a YouTube-only content or YouTube-only cast and it has double the likes or double the views, then that tells me these people really appreciate the extra effort I'm putting in. So let's keep going forward with that. So I'm going to do my best to keep pumping out content and probably lay off the coffee for the next video. I feel like I've been talking way too fast. Have a good one, YouTube, and I'll see you soon.